Well, we're really excited to be here. We heard about Felsk yesterday, Patty, when Hersa was talking. So everybody's a little primed to hear more about it. We're super excited. So for everyone that doesn't know, this is Pattie Archuleta. She is the project co-director of Felsk at Family Voices National, and we're super excited to have her here today to share with us some of the great work that's happening at Family Voices and the special work of Felsk, and just really want all of you to be aware of your local and national resources for families, and very excited for all the work Patty's put into making this particular session super interesting. So welcome, Pattie.
Thank you so much, Alyssa. I appreciate the opportunity to be here. I'm going to share today about Family Voices as well as family-to-family health information centers. Part of this presentation will be didactic and part will be activity. So before we get started, I wanted to hand this to Erica so she can share a poll to get us ready for the activity that's coming later.
Okay, you heard about it here first. There's going to be an activity coming later. I'll put my face up here so you all can see me. So we have a poll. So an activity we're going to have later is going to be in teams for like a significant amount of time. For like 12 minutes, you'll be on a team. And we'd like it to be most meaningful to you to have you be on a team that is associated with a state that matters to you, because that is what the scavenger hunt is going to be about. It's going to be directly related to different states. So this is what we would like you to do now, is identify, so we get a heads up about the distribution of the people who are in this session right now. What state would be most useful for you to explore during the scavenger hunt time? Now, you'll notice if you scroll down, there is a surprise me category. Now, we need maybe, I don't know, 5 people or so. It would be helpful to be in the surprise me category. If it doesn't matter to you, if you feel like you're flexible, then we can use your willingness and openness to balance the rooms in case there's, for example, just one person who's, wanting to explore Virginia or something like that, and they need a buddy to be on a team. There are, just a heads up, there is a prize for one of the teams, and you need to be on the team for your team to win a prize. So we've got a couple surprise me's. I'm going to give this another couple minutes for people to answer, Pattie.
Sounds good.
Right. All right, so I'll leave this in the background, Pattie, for just another minute. And if you want, you can go ahead and just keep going, and I'll close this poll quietly on the side in just about another minute. And anyone who's already answered, if you just want to, you can delete it out of your view before I do that. All right, go ahead, Pattie. I'll get out of your way.
Great. Thanks, Erica. And thank you for participating in the poll. It'll help us with the activity coming in just a little bit. So I have no relevant financial disclosures. A little bit about the funder before I get started. Both Family Voices and the family-to-family health information centers are funded through the Maternal Child Health Bureau of the Health Resources and Services Administration in a competitive process. So I wanted to take a moment to introduce myself. I am Pattie Archuleta, the Felsk Project Co-Director for Family Voices National. I have over 25 years of lived experience and advocacy as both a mom and a sibling. I have a brother who is blind, and I have a 26-year-old who has a history of epilepsy and infantile spasm epilepsy and autism. This radical seizure disorders caused over 100 seizures a day, and after failing 5 anticonvulsants over the course of a year, my son Eli was successfully treated with a ketogenic diet. That experience led us on a journey of advocacy and empowerment that has inspired me to this day, and these are my passions: engaging and empowering families and youth as well as professionals. So a little bit about Family Voices. We were founded in 1992 by a grassroots group of friends and family leaders concerned about the changing healthcare environment and the implications for children with disabilities, chronic illnesses, and special health care needs. We continue to this day to be a grassroots organization around the country. At Family Voices, we have a health equity focus, realizing that the intersection of various statuses impacts access to care for many children and youth with special health care needs, and that the disparities require the inclusion and engagement of the underrepresented in order to affect positive change for this population. That means plain language and language accessibility. And those are some of the pillars that we build our work upon at Family Voices. So I know you heard a little bit about FELSC yesterday. That's pretty exciting. I didn't know that HRSA was going to be over here tooting our horn before us, or maybe that was earlier today. So under the FELSC project, we have two primary components. One by which we provide technical and assistance and support to a variety of maternal child health entities, including state Title V agencies. It includes having a learning collaborative, environmental scans, and a diversity, equity, and inclusion academy. Under component 2, we provide technical assistance and support to our network of 59 family-to-family health information centers. That includes 50 states, 6 territories, and 3 tribal nations. So you might be wondering, what exactly do these F2Fs do, as we affectionately call our family-to-family health information centers? We help families navigate the healthcare system. We increase awareness about disabilities and other special healthcare needs, and lift up services for a variety of specific conditions. One of the other primary focus of F2Fs is to participate in helping families participate in developing school-based plans to support their children. We integrate services for behavioral health and trauma-informed care, as well as help families build leadership skills. Another component is, after building those leadership skills, we try to enhance capacity for families to sit in a variety of decision-making capacities at tables at state agencies to help improve systems of care for this population. So I'm wondering right now if we can have a quick poll around anybody who has had interactions with Family Voices or F2Fs. So the poll is up now. Have you ever interacted with Family Voices or F2Fs? And perhaps checking the ways in which you've had the opportunity to interact. I'm going to give you just a minute on that poll.
Yep, and I'm watching the answers come in here, Patty.
Thanks, Erica. Do we have folks who've interacted with family-to-family health information centers in the past?
So far on the poll, we have 6 out of 36 people have answered. So 17% of people are a yes for that. So more people have not interacted according to the poll.
Okay.
I think I've not seen, I'm going to end the poll in 3, 2, 1.
Awesome.
All right, and here are the results, so you can see them.
Okay, great. Some folks have referred patients, used F2F for peer support, or used Family Voices family engagement tools, which we'll talk about a little bit here in a minute, and as well as our health equity language access tools. Those are great. My colleague yesterday was presenting on our Family Voices language access tools, which are pretty amazing. I wanted to circle back and let you know that all of our F2Fs, as well as Family Voices, are grant funded and free. The services are free to families of children and youth with special health care needs. There is no wrong door, and open referral processes are in place. So for me, my experience as a parent with a child in special health care needs was, as I mentioned, my son Eli was challenged with infantile spasm epilepsy and over 100 seizures a day. And during that time, we lived in rural Arizona, and it was incredibly isolating to have a child with this level of a disability and no support. It was 2 hours round trip to the epilepsy centers for treatment. It was 45 minutes to a support group, but that wasn't even for children. So I was really struggling, and it wasn't until I came across Parents Place of Maryland, where I was had relocated for treatment for Eli, that I finally found my people and was able to break down some isolation and receive some training on how to better support my son at school. And then I partook of their leadership training to better enhance my advocacy skills for my son. And then I was able to generalize that and work and help other families to support themselves. So I'm wondering if anybody in the audience would be willing to share their experience that they've had with F2Fs, and I will look to see if we have any hands raised. I see Melanie Lindsay has her hands raised.
Yeah, so I'm in Tennessee, and when my daughter, who is now 16 years old, was born, she was diagnosed with profound deafness. And so I had absolutely no clue what to do at all. And I felt very alone and isolated. So I did big, website search immediately. That's all I knew to do at the time. And so I did find my state F2F online and reached out to them, and they connected a family navigator. And she had a son who was a young adult at the time who also had been born with profound deafness. And she helped me navigate through and figure out my next steps. And most importantly, though, I no longer felt alone or isolated. So it helped calm me down. And later, after I felt more stable and on my feet with my daughter's diagnosis, I did reach back out to them, to the state F2F, and I went through peer mentor training, and so that I could then be a mentor to other parents on their journey.
Wow, that's great. Thank you so much, Melanie.
Sure.
So for those of you who have not had the ability or the opportunity to connect with your state F2F, we are going to, in a few minutes, have an activity where you will be able to do so. This is a screenshot of where we're going to send you in a little bit to find your state family-to-family health information center. That will be one part of the upcoming activity. And the next part that we're going to talk about that Family Voices offers specifically are tools for assessing family engagement. So that I noticed some more people than not in the survey in the poll had interacted with our tools for family engagement. So we do have several of those to assess individual level engagement and systems level engagement. The Family Engagement and Systems Assessment tool called the FESAT and the FCCA tool. The FESAT tool helps organizations better engage with families and partnering to improve systems. Before we go any further, I wanted you to put a pin in this thought and consider it as we discuss this. What do you currently do for family engagement? And have you faced challenges with family engagement? How do you know you have a challenge? And what mistakes have you made along the way? Just something to consider as we're going to do a Menti poll soon. The next tool, the FESAT tool, has a variety of components. There's a user's guide, the actual tool itself, and a toolkit, which includes a really great scoring sheet that's already in an Excel format and ready to use. Now, if you're interested in a family-centered care assessment at the direct care level, the family-centered care assessment is the tool that works specifically with enhancing family engagement in the practice level. So right now, I would like for you to think about, we're going to put a Menti poll up, and the Menti will focus on what challenges have you had or experienced getting resources either for yourself or for other families or for families in your practices. So in the chat, you will find the instructions for the Menti poll. Be as specific as possible about this question. Living in rural areas. Thank you. You can pop that into the Mentimeter link if you have access to that. Finding reputable sources. The conditions I encounter are super rare. Yeah, this super rare can be very challenging. Families speak niche languages. Finding resources in a variety of languages. Yes. Financial barriers to getting to conferences and additional training. Yes, indeed. Transportation. All of these barriers that I'm seeing are things that your family-to-family health information centers can assist and support you or families in finding some additional supports or resources to get the training they need. What else do we have? Insurance barriers. Knowing if resources are trustworthy, that is something that you can most definitely count on when you're going through your family-to-family health information center or Family Voices. All righty. How are we feeling about that Mentimeter, Erica?
All right.
We will.
I think we got a lot of responses in there, and it relates to the next, relates to how challenging it can be to find resources and how we need each other, right? So
Indeed. And it relates to the next part, because we're going to hopefully give you some resources now in this scavenger hunt activity, where there will be 2 scenarios, and I'm going to
Pattie,
let Erica talk about that.
No, I'm going to let you talk about it, Pattie. I just, before we do it, we're going to relaunch that. Is this right, Fred Brown? We were going to relaunch the original poll.
Yeah, I think more people have joined since, and so that'll aid in the putting everyone in the team that they want to be in. So yeah, if we can relaunch that poll.
Excellent.
Thank you, Erica.
All right, so even if you answered this before, you now get to answer it again. So you get to recommit to the state that you want to do. You want to dig into the family-to-family resources in that state for part of one of the scenarios in the team activity. And then the surprise us answer is for people who are feeling flexible about that, and Fred will use those people who volunteer for that to balance to make sure everybody has at least a buddy, not a small team. Okay, Pattie, go ahead and explain the scenarios and sort of the 2 beats of the scavenger hunt in terms of your thinking of how you put it together, and then I'll explain the technicality of it.
Perfect. Thanks, Erica. So we're going to have a really fun scavenger hunt activity with 2 scenarios. One is that you are a family member or provider who wants to increase family engagement, improve health equity, or enhance your diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging. So those topics we're inviting you to explore at the Family Voices website for this part, scenario 1. For scenario 2, you're a family member or provider who is struggling to find timely local or state resources, which we just, discovered in our Menti poll that is standard operating procedure that we struggle. The invitation here is to go to the map that I showed you earlier to identify your family-to-family health information center within your state or the state of interest that you have noted for this activity. I'm going to hand it over to Erica for the tech piece now to get you started on the scavenger hunt.
Okay. So, and Fred is working on creating those teams. I'm going to put in chat here the link to it. So the way it's going to work, here, let me put myself, I'm going to take you off screen and put myself up here so Patty can relax. Okay. There is going to be, in a moment, I'll put in chat a link to a Google form. That is the scavenger hunt content. And as Patty said, there's 2 parts to it. The first part, you're using the Family Voices website. And then the second part, you're choosing one of the states on the map and you're digging into that local state website. So it'll be 2 websites. Everyone will be doing the first one together. Or they'll all be looking at the same website. So those questions are actually keyed so that we know the right answers. So we have, if you get the right answer, you'll be able to know immediately. For the second half, it's since people will be looking at different states, for that part, you're not going to know, we don't know the answers that you're going to find or not find, and you're just going to be on your own honor system of tallying how many you were able to find. We're going to do this. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Yes.
I was just going to say, I was going to put that scavenger hunt share back up so folks could see that while you're talking.
Yes. And I put that in the chat.
Excellent.
Now,
thank you.
We have 2 beats to this. The first beat is going to be that you're going to get to meet your team. So you're actually going to have 4 minutes in those breakout rooms. Well, maybe 5 minutes. I think we can have 5 minutes in those breakout rooms where you're going to meet your team. You're going to know what your team name is. I'll tell you what that is in a minute. And you're going to choose a captain. And your captain's job is simply, that's the one person who's going to be filling out the form so that each team will only be filling out the form once. You will have 5 minutes to meet your team, open the form and fill out just the first page, which is your name, your people on your team, and what state you're choosing to represent. The rest of that time you can use to get to know each other, or bonus, get your costumes together, because then you're going to come back and we're going to see representation from all of the teams. Now you may think, how will I know what costume? It's 9 in the morning. What are 10 in the morning? What am I doing? How is this going to work? 11? What time is it? When you get invited to a breakout room, there will be you will be invited to a breakout room that has a name of like a color and an animal. So we're doing that work for you. So you might get invited to the Orange Caterpillars, New Jersey team. That is your team. Embrace it. You are the Orange Caterpillars for these 15 minutes. Get your Orange Caterpillar bling on, and you'll be brought back to the main session in 5 minutes. So this, if you go ahead and click on the link in chat, that is the link to the scavenger hunt. But remember, only your team captain is the only person that will fill that out. Fred, how are we doing on team rooms?
Good. I'm just getting the colors and the names all sorted. Yeah, I'm ready to open those. And I've got the clock set for 5 minutes. So let me know when we're good to go.
Okay. And then for those of you who said, I'm not up for being on a team, I'm not play to win here, I'm not up for being on a team right now, you can fill out this as an individual in the main session if you do not join a team room. Patty, any final, any words before we just go do the meet the team?
Nope. Go for it.
Okay.
Enjoy. And we'll be back in a few.
So I'm just looking, I've changed the gallery view so I can see everyone. So wiggle your fingers if you are on a team and you know who your team members are. You're like, yep, I figured it out. We've got a team. It's active. It's happening. Okay, Kathleen, Lynn, Octavia, Amanda, I see you. Okay. Wiggle your fingers if you're like, oh, we kind of talked about their things and didn't really fill out the form. We don't know what our team is. There was a little bit of that going on. That's okay. You have time. I will help you and support you as we get started. So part 2 of this, now you get some more time with your team. So now we're going to open those same rooms again. You're going to go back in, and now you have time to dig into, go to the next page of the scavenger hunt. You'll notice those first questions are required. So finish filling out who the people are on your team, so they'll have a possibility of winning the prizes at the end. And now
Do we
you
need
have,
to acknowledge anyone for coming back in costume, Erica?
oh wait,
I see
Alyssa
some
Terry,
costumes.
what is
I
that?
s-
She's got a mascot. Wait, let me just pull you up here.
Alyssa's got a
That's
mascot.
Miss,
Amanda's got a costume.
oh. Oh, wait, I'm behind on the spotlighting game. Maybe you can help me with this, Fred. Acknowledgement, yes. Oh, Gretchen's got a background. All right, it's starting to happen. It's the tension, the competitive nature is starting to ramp
I
up.
see the sharks. Yeah, Cindy's got a
Oh,
shark.
Sharks are coming in. Okay, New Jersey Sharks. All right,
Oh, yeah.
starting to happen.
Wow.
Okay.
This is getting real now.
It's getting real. So now you're going to have 15 minutes. You can dedicate whatever percentage of that time to costumes, but you also have that time to, and we made this a scavenger hunt because for real, that's what it can feel like, right? To be looking for resources. This is a good time to also remind everyone about the conference notebook, and anything you put in chat will transfer into the notebook. So if you put stuff in chat while you're in your breakout rooms, you'll have to copy it back into the main session. But when you come back from the main session, yes, we'll see the costumes. Yes, we'll see who like won the scavenger hunt. We'll do prizes, but also it'll be a time to either share resources or make requests in the chat, because we're making it a game, but we know you're going to run into broken links. You're going to run into like, wait, maybe there is nothing here. Or you might run into, wow, I didn't realize this was possible. So the point of this is to engage with the topic, regardless of the outcome of the scavenger hunt. We know it's not equal between the different states. Anything else you want to add, Pattie, in terms of strategy for, or the, what people to be paying attention to while they're in there?
Sure. I would say liberally use the search tool in the website to find what you're looking for.
Okay. And we'll go around between breakout rooms to check in on you as it goes on. All right, Fred, anything to, well, actually, I'll ask the group, any questions before we send you back into your rooms?
Ready, set, go. All right. Welcome back, everyone. How was it? Wondering if anybody wants to check in. I see some smiles out there. That's making me really happy. How was it for you guys? Amanda, you have a big smile. Can you check in?
Sorry, I was just someone's doing something in the background, but we did really good. There's only 2 of us on my team, but we worked really well together, and she was amazing. So
Awesome. Thank you. I see also, and I want to acknowledge this, that it was confusing. Can we hear a little bit more about that, Kathy? Was it hard to do?
Yeah, we only had 2 people also. My co-partner wasn't able to access things because she's at work. So we were just trying to do things together, with me being able to see things and telling her, and then she would look stuff up. So it was just a little bit difficult for us to, I think, navigate.
Got you. I understand that.
Yeah, her
So
work
computer doesn't let you use
Yeah.
Google. Got you. Yeah, that would definitely be a challenge that we hadn't anticipated. I'm sorry it was challenging for you, but I hope you did have the opportunity to learn some things about your Family Voices resources as well as your state resources. And if you didn't get that far today, the invitation is to go ahead, and I know not everyone was able to finish. Please do continue to explore your state resources to see what is out there for you and your families. Alrighty, so let's see, were there any questions that you had? Questions about things you couldn't find? Let's see. Erica, do you have the score sheets?
I have, so in order for me to have score sheets, people have to go through and click submit. And I think that, this was more than what's possible for most groups, right? But we are
Agreed.
going to appreciate that the prize drawing is going to go for participation of who is on that team. So I'm going to turn this over to Fred, who has got something set up here. So we get to see which team wins, and you will be winning gift certificates, Amazon gift cards. So Fred, take it away. Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right.
All right.
Red Tigers from Delaware. Who is that? Let's see. If you're a Red Tiger from Delaware, raise your hand so we can see.
Raise
who
your
you were.
hand.
Let's see. Looking for my list here. It looks like we have
I see
Andrea.
Tori Jordan.
Yes. Tori, Lindsay Brady, were you part of that team?
Yes, as well as Andrea Shawhaas.
And Andrea Shawhaas. All right. You are the grand winners of the Team Scavenger Hunt. And you'll each be getting $25 gift certificates courtesy of NIMAC for congratulations. Any words about what it was like to dig into the Delaware? What was it like Delaware state to state? Or your experience?
Yeah. I just had no idea these resources existed. And I just thought like a lot of them would be very applicable to the families that I serve. And I used to be a special ed teacher, so I really appreciate some of those types of things like navigating an IEP or 504. Either way, it's fantastic. So thank you, Pattie.
Thank you
Yay.
for engaging in the exercise and learning something new about resources for your families. Anybody else want to check out takeaways? We're gonna do a Menti, right?
Yes, so you're welcome to. Yep, if people are ready to click on the link in chat, we'll give everybody an opportunity to answer this. Like, what did you find that or learn that will be useful to you? Because we know when we started the session that it was something like 80% of the people on that poll, Pattie, had never interacted with Family Voices, hadn't really used those resources. So,
right.
So what did you find either about the resources, or maybe it was just about the people you connected with in the room, in your room? So go ahead and click on the link in chat to answer those questions, answer that question.
Oh, great. Getting great feedback. So the invitation is to click on that Menti link in the chat and provide us some feedback related to what your takeaways are from this presentation and the activity. And I think if you did discover things like my state's info needs to be updated, there is an absolute space in that opportunity there to reach out and say, hey, I would love to use this for my families. Can you provide some updated resources? And those tools, I'm seeing folks learning new family engagement resource tools. I hope that those can be taken to heart, and feel free to reach out to us at Family Voices if you would like to start using one of those tools, the FCCA tool or the FCCA tool. We'd be happy to provide you technical assistance in getting those up and operational in your organization.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for all of your good participation and good sportsmanship. We had some great costumes. Oh my gosh. And the mascots, and congratulations to the winners for the gift cards. And I am hoping that your takeaway is to know that Family Voices resources and personnel are there to support your family engagement efforts, and that our family-to-family health information centers are there to help support you as a family member or a professional with training, education, and all kinds of things that can support families and professionals out here in our population. So thank you for your time and attention today. I appreciate you. And I'm going to hand it over to Erica and Fred to close up.
Thank you, Patty. Yeah, I'm gonna, Erica, I believe Erica's heading back to the main session to get things situated there. Alyssa, I'll just invite you up here for final words.
Yeah, I think we do have like 2 minutes. Does anybody have questions from your little journey or your own experience with the Family Voices or F2F resources that you wanted to ask Patty before we go back to the main room? As a genetic counselor, one of the reasons we wanted Patty to come share all these resources with you is because I felt like I didn't know about them. And I think it's pretty obvious how useful they are to a lot of the families that we work with. I've heard some genetics clinic make a policy that every patient letter they write mentions the local family organization. So I just want to sort of raise awareness that they're out there. I think sometimes genetic counselors try to do everything when there are other organizations out there that can help us with some of the things that families really need. So it's nice to have trusted organizations that we can link our families to that we know will take good care of them.
Alyssa, I wanted to thank you there for that one great idea you had about operationalizing family resources. If something as simple as putting it in that first initial letter is a great way to operationalize some of the information that you've learned here today. So thanks for lifting that up, Alyssa.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyone else have any questions, comments? Awesome. Well, thanks for playing along. You will see a link pop up in chat that will take you back to the main room. When you get there, you're going to have an opportunity to share with the people that were over in the rural health session something that you learned over here that you think they should know about. So take that opportunity when we get back over there. Go ahead and click the link in the chat to get back to the main session.